कहीं बत्ती फिर ना चली जाए. I felt miserable yesterday. फालतू में क्लास मिस हो गए हमारे और नो फॉल्ट ऑफ माइन. Anyway, मैं बात कर ली है. I'm going to get my internet, what is it, service provider's box shifted to the house. Right now he's giving me from an outside connection. मैंने कहा वहाँ से box हटा दे तू और मुझे यहाँ घर पे provide कर. And once that comes, I'm going to invest in that. वो भी बात कर ली. Inverter come UPS, I think it's called. That guy gave me an estimate. 30,000 कुछ बताया. मैंने कहा तू वायरिंग के अलग लगेंगे सर. मैंने कहा तू घर आके देख जाना. I'll let you know, then you come. So that at least I'll have 6 hours of power backup. Otherwise, we just can't work. And everything is supposed to be online. अरे online क्या online? बत्ती नहीं है तो online क्या करेंगे? मुझे तार के ऊपर जाके बैठना पड़ेगा virtually online. So apologies for yesterday. That was so sudden. I just didn't have enough notice. बत्ती जब नहीं आई ना, I asked my wife, you just check why is there no power? And she called up and found out कि ट्रांसफॉर्मर गया, इसमें तो टाइम लगेगा. आज 4 बज सकते हैं शाम के. And we came to know later कि it's a much longer thing. जनरेटर भी देर से देंगे. So कल यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस, गवर्नमेंट पीपल ऑल्सो मस्ट हैव एंजॉयड. इन्होंने भी काम नहीं किया होगा. No power means no work. Advantage of no power and digitale Welt heute. So, wir beginnen mit dem neuen Thema heute. Kultur, Kulturwelten, Kulturwelt. Und hier gibt es einige Gemälde. Also diese Gemälde sind von berühmten, bekannten Malern. Georg Baselitz zum Beispiel ist ein moderner Maler, ist nicht sehr alt oder nicht so alt, aber es lebt noch. Albrecht Dürer, einer der bekanntesten Maler von Deutschland. Mittelalter. Ja, 1528 ist er gestorben. Sehr, sehr schön ist er, sehr schön. Also seine Malerei ist wunderschön. Und diese hier sind ein bisschen mehr modern. Neo Rauch zum Beispiel. Etwa so 60 plus, 61 Jahre alt. Und das ist die Welt, wie er das sieht, eine Interpretation davon. Paul Klee, wieder ein sehr bekannter Maler von Deutschland wieder, Paul Klee. Und das ist Angelika Kaufmann. So wieder eine bekannte Malerin aus den alten Zeiten, 1807 ist sie gestorben. Und es gibt im Vergleich zu den Männern nicht so viele Malerinnen. Was wir hier sehen von Angelika Kaufmann ist eine historische Legende und Geschichte. Also das möchte ich ja jetzt nicht diskutieren. Aber die Aufgabe hier, wie schätzt man ein Bild, ein Gemälde, das Gemälde, Painting. It's what we have in a museum, ein Gemäldegalerie heißt das Wort, die Galerie, ein Gemäldegalerie. Also wie schätzt man das? How does one judge that? Positiv, negativ, mit welchen Wörtern? Also hier gibt es zum Beispiel einige Wörter, die man normalerweise ein Kunstwerk zu beurteilen verwendet oder benutzt. Also das machen die Kunstkritiker sehr viel. Solche Wörter werden bei diesen Leuten sehr oft verwendet. Zum Beispiel, Sie können auch sagen, Dieses Bild hier ist überschätzt, overrated. Oder das ist sehr spannend, sehr intensiv. It's a very old picture, but man kann immer noch das in der heutigen Situation interpretieren. Die Welt steht jetzt Hals über Kopf. Umgekehrt. The world has now gone upside down. Wegen der Pandemie. Was wir hier sehen, sind die Viren. All the viruses are here in the background. And the entire world is upside down. Man weiß ja nicht, geht man oder kommt man? So sehr intensiv ist das, sehr spannend, sehr visionär. Ja, very visionary painting, zum Beispiel. Ja, das ist als Beispiel hier gemeint. Also einige Wörter zum Kulturwelt, wie man mit der Kultur, mit den Gemälden, mit der Malerei umgeht. Aber was die Autoren hier von uns verlangen, ist, schreiben sie eine Geschichte, erfinden sie eine Geschichte. Erfinden? Was ist denn erfinden?
Invention.
Invention. So invent. The verb is invent. So invent a story. Think of a story that you can put here. Sowas machen wir jetzt nicht. Das brauchen wir eigentlich nicht. Wenn wir eine Ahnung von Kultur und einigen Namen haben, das reicht schon. So that these names don't come totally as shock. So, who are these people? Never heard of them. Natürlich nicht. Interessiert ihr euch für Kunst? Are you interested in art? Any of you? In painting and art? To appreciate, to see, to whatever.
It's a Nesophilia.
Yes, Nesophilia.
Kennt ihr einige Namen? Do you know a few names? Famous artists? Big names? Small names?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci, yeah. But there's those Italian.
Yeah, Mona Lisa painting.
Yeah, Mona Lisa is there, überschätzt. That's a personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but a personal opinion. Überschätzt. It hangs in the Louvre. Also man kann das im Museum Louvre sehen in Paris. It's a very overrated painting. The size of the painting is about 27 inches or 29 inches. That's it. Diagonal. Really overrated. Also man kann das nicht auch gut sehen. Das steht hinter Glas oder viele Glasschichten. 3 or 4 layers of glass protect that painting from the public, including bulletproof glass. So when you click the picture also, it doesn't come out very well. Ja, was noch von
M.F. Hussain.
Ja, M.F. Hussain, der indische Maler, gut.
Pablo Picasso.
Yeah, Picasso and Francois or anyone else? Anyone else? A couple of names. Rembrandt, Flemish. Yeah, this is in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And this is a picture called the Night Watch. It's a huge mural, huge mural. Massive, the size of a wall in a house. And they've put benches in front of this mural in the museum where you can sit and look at this painting. Und ist einer meiner Lieblingsgemälde. The interesting part is, if you look carefully here, so if you look at the painting, look at the detail in this here. Do you see the wall in the background?
Sword.
Is it visible to you? There's artwork here on the wall. The wall also is decorated. And only these people are in light because of light coming in through a window. And don't miss. Yeah. There's an animal here. Wahrscheinlich ein Hund. You see this? Yeah, so it's one of the most famous paintings by Rembrandt. And it's a group of soldiers, 18 Leute sind da. You can count them. You can count these people, those given in the painting. And I believe this painting was cut to fit of somebody's wall. It's oil on canvas. So Rembrandt, a Dutch painter, he had painted this. And amongst the famous painters, European painters. Then there was a very simple painting. Das Mädchen mit den yeah. Let's see whether I got it right. Yeah, got it. This is Vermeer, a Dutch painter again. And he writes about, or he has written this. It's based on a story. So without going too much into it, this is again a very, very fine painting. Also ein sehr, sehr schönes Gemälde. Das Gemälde, ein sehr schönes Gemälde. Und Johannes Vermeer, wenn man das näher angeguckt im Museum, wenn man ins Museum geht und ganz nah das angeguckt, you can literally see the expression and literally you see each and every one. It's as if the eyes, they're full of life. You see this here. See how subtly, how many colors he has used within the eye. Plus this highlighter, the pupil here. And there's also a small reflection visible inside the pupil, a small white dot. And this is an amazing painting again. Yeah. Johannes Vermeer, and his paintings are extraordinary again. Also diese Künstler, dieser Maler, sie alle haben ihre eigene, also das ist dann wieder Vermeer. Actually, das ist von Da Vinci. Und this is again a very nice painting. How to paint a painting. Yeah. Inside the painting, there's a painter painting a painting. Vermeer. Again. Und das ist in dem Kunsthistorischen Museum in Wien. It's called Wie man ein Kunstwerk herstellt. How does one produce a work of art? So these are brilliant painters of the European times. Also wir haben auch solche Maler, aber unser Stil war ganz anders. Während der Mughal-Dynastie oder dieser Mughal-Zeit gab es auch diese Miniaturen, the small Mughal miniatures. See, it shows a painter and the painting something. See, the satin is visible here. There are plenty I can show you like this, or the milkmaid here. So do take it up sometime to have a look. Some of them are beautiful, just to admire. Auch wenn man das nicht selber tut oder kein Interesse hat, kann man etwas darüber lernen, damit man in der Lage ist, über Kunst mit einem Ausländer, mit einem Deutschen diskutieren zu können. Es gibt viele Europäer, die sich auch nicht für Kunst interessieren. There's a milkmaid. And yeah, let me just show you something else here. In front of a window, you can literally see the bread with the granules on that. So. And she's pouring the milk of the pot, and if you look inside the pot here, you can still see some milk sticking to the sides. This is a typical Dutch lady's dress. Und sie ist wahrscheinlich verheiratet, deswegen trägt sie diese Haube. Married women in the Middle Ages, earlier part of the century, 19th, 20th century. In fact, traditionally, even in some of the inside villages, interior villages in Holland, married women wear this haube, this cap. This shows their status as married. Okay, so mehr will ich darüber nicht diskutieren. And this is, of course, again, a very famous painting. Babita hat dann diesen Namen erwähnt von Leonardo da Vinci. And here, I think, which one is touched up? One of them is touched up here. This is the untouched one. Das wird immer noch diskutiert. Dieses Gemälde wird immer noch diskutiert. Also kurz nach diesem Mal wurde Jesus verraten. And he was captured after this. Jesus was captured because of one of his disciples giving him away. And he was betrayed by one of the disciples. And in this Last Supper, Jesus also announces that one of you will betray me. There were 13 people at supper, which is why they say that 13 is considered unlucky. Yeah, so there's a story here of the painting. And this is very much visible. And there is some very interesting detail in this. This is a restored portion, as a moment mal. Yeah. And it's total consternation when he announces that one of you will betray me. And they're all talking to each other, saying that who is it who is going to betray him? So the Last Supper. Okay, so wenn wir von Gemälden und Kunstwerken sprechen, das ist hauptsächlich geht um die europäische Kunst und Kunstwerke. Es gibt viele. Der ist eigentlich aus Italien, Leonardo da Vinci. Gustav Klimt ist ein deutscher Maler, sehr, sehr bekannt. Und es gibt noch einige Namen hier, Vincent van Gogh, das ist Vermeer. So. Vermeer is one of my favorites. There's lots of them, and Rembrandt especially. Then Diego Vela, this is another very famous painter. This is a modern one, Grant Wood. I'm not too much into some of these modern guys. And Picasso is slightly offbeat. But ja, der hat auch einige gute Werke hergestellt. Okay, so jetzt Schluss hier. Und zurück zu unserem Thema hier. So, und was bedeutet das Wort Kunst für euch? Wenn wir sagen Kunst, was alles kann man darunter zählen? What all can you list under Kunst? When you say art, or ist es nur Malerei? Was alles kann man unter Kunst aufzählen?
Gefühl,
Nein, Gefühl ist keine Kunst.
Emotion, art, Farbe,
Nein, that's not art. Feelings are not art.
Farbe vielleicht.
Wo? Colors
Ein-
alone are not art.
Zum Beispiel dunkel oder hell. Sagt uns, nein.
Nein.
Tradition,
Jede,
Ja?
jede Arten von Kunst,
Zum Beispiel.
zum Beispiel, ja,
Beispiel.
zum Beispiel nicht nur Malerei,
Ja.
Tanzen,
Mhm.
Musik
Mhm.
und Reisen,
Nein, Reisen nein.
okay, und andere Dinge, zum Beispiel Sewing,
Skulptur zum Beispiel.
was?
Skulptur.
Skulptur,
Ja?
ja,
Ja, ein Bildhauern. Skulptur. 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 So Statuen zum Beispiel. Wenn man die Statuen aus einem Marmor oder aus Holz oder sowas haut, das ist auch Kunst.
und Sculpture machen,
वही मैंने बोला अभी ना, स्कल्पचर,
Kultur, ja.
SKULPTUR, Sculpture. Das ist auch Kunst. Und Michelangelo war dafür sehr, sehr bekannt. Es gibt auch andere, aber Michelangelo war auch dafür sehr, sehr bekannt. So, nicht nur Skulptur, sondern auch Gebäude, Buildings. Diese sind auch Kunstwerke. Sie gehören zur Weltkulturerbe. Was bedeutet das Weltkulturerbe? Wir haben auch sehr viele Gebäude hier, die zur Weltkulturerbe gehören.
Heritage. Belong to heritage.
Ja, Weltkulturerbe,
World Heritage.
World heritage.
cultural heritage. A couple of words to Let's discuss. For example, this palace here, Schönbrunn. The Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna. Also mit diesen Gärten, schöne Anlagen. Ja, Gartenanlagen, beautifully manicured gardens. Super. Das entire palace, also hier lebt man, also da lebte einmal der König und die Königin, Sisi. That was, she was called Sisi, Elizabeth. But this is Sisi. It's open to public. Also da kommen viele Besucher. And this was a place where people measured their fashion. Just a small detail. 1000 prunkvollen Rokokozimmer gibt es hier. Prunkvoll. Sehr schöne. Sehr gut ausgestattet mit Gold und Silber und Edelsteinen. Das ist prunkvoll. It's something which is very flashy, very costly, very beautifully done. Prunkvoll. Und Rokoko aus dem 15., 16. Jahrhundert, dieser Stil, talks about the fine oder sehr oder die feinsten Details in einem Gemälde oder in einem Gebäude. The smallest of small details. That is special for Rococo. For example, if a sculptor or if a mason who builds a building or helps in a building work, carves out a small flower, not only will each and every petal be done minutely, for all you know that particular person who has done that work might even put a small bee on that flower. Even that will be very finely done. So when one talks about Rococo Zimmer or the Rococo Kunst or the Rococo Malerei, das bedeutet, jedes Detail kann man sehen. For example, in her skirt here. This is a painting. Remember those days, there were no photographers. So if you kind of zoom in, it won't be visible here. I lose the pixels. You can see each and every hair of a face. And look at the fine detail. You can literally see through this. Yeah, and this is a Kaiserin, Elizabeth. She was also popularly called Sisi. Was one of the most well-known figures in Austrian history. Right, so it's got an interesting story behind it. So, was wir hier lernen wollen als Grammatik oder als unser neue Themen für diese Lektion, sind, wie man den Textzusammenhang erfasst. How do you get this text together? How do you get the meaning in a text going together? When you're describing or writing a text, when you're speaking, how do you put those things in the right logical order? Wie macht man das? So darum geht es hier. Das ist keine Grammatik eigentlich. Aber natürlich, ein Teil von Grammatik spielt hier eine Rolle. For example, wir haben diese Orts- und Zeitangaben. Dorthin, dort, damals, einst, einmals. And the small words of that time, damalige, einmaliger, zu dieser Zeit gehöriger. So diese Zeitangaben, normally adverbial, sie herstellen oder sie stellen dann diese Textzusammenhänge her. So they tell you, give you a time sequence. And this is how you connect the sentences in any text. Auch durch Pronominal-Adverbien. Darüber, davon. Wir haben das auch gelernt. Remember? Dadurch, worauf. Ich interessiere mich dafür. Ich fahre damit und so weiter und so weiter. So these are small things which now are being highlighted here in dieser Lektion, betont hier in dieser Lektion, as to how do you get the continuity in a text. See, for example, sie heirateten Franz Josef und Elisabeth, sie heirateten im Jahre 1854. Damals war Sissi gerade erst 17 Jahre alt. She was just 17 years old when she married the king and became the princess or the queen at that time. And then later on, she died a horrible death. She was murdered at the age of 60. Sie wurde im Alter von 60 Jahren von dem italienischen Anarchistin Luigi Lucchini erstochen. Stechen, stach, gestochen. Erstechen, stabbed with a knife. She was stabbed with a knife, als sie am Ufer des Genfersee spazieren ging. Was ist der Genfer See? Genf, wie heißt das, die Stadt Genf auf Englisch? Ja? Was ist Genf in Englisch? Das ist nicht in Österreich. Ich gebe euch einen Tipp. Das liegt in der Schweiz. Ja? Genf auf Englisch.
Canton?
No. Canton is the district. It's a state in Switzerland. Also Genf ist eine Stadt. Auf Deutsch heißt diese Stadt Genf. Aber wie heißt diese Stadt im Englischen? What's it in English?
Geneva,
Geneva.
Geneva.
Und Genfer See, der Genfer See,
Name of the lake?
Lake Geneva. Right next to the city is a lake, huge lake, Lake Geneva. So als sie am Ufer des Genfer Sees spazieren ging, wurde sie erstochen. She was stabbed. Was ist ein Ufer? Das
Bank
Ufer,
of the river.
das wir- Ja, the bank. So I think there is some film also on her on YouTube. And this is one of the first earlier stories. It applies not only to common people, but also to the rich. Look from here. Die ängstliche und unsichere Elisabeth wagte es nicht, ihrer Schwiegermutter zu widersprechen und blieb zeitlebens eine Außenseiterin am Wiener Hof. The scared and uncertain Elizabeth did not dare, wagen, to dare, ihrer Schwiegermutter zu widersprechen. Please note the spelling of widersprechen. W-I-D-E-R. Was bedeutet widersprechen?
Sir, to speak against.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
To speak against.
Right. So what that would, can you give me a better word?
Debate.
No. No.
Argue.
Gegen.
Gegen, contradict. Yeah, widersprechen, to contradict, to speak against, that is, whatever somebody says, you contradict that person. She did not dare to contradict her mother-in-law, and lifelong, zeitlebens, blieb sie als Außenseiterin am Wiener Hof. She remained an outsider at the court, at the Viennese court, even though she was the queen. So these things happen not only in India and amongst common folk, but also at that level. In fact, at that level, it's much more. So it's an interesting life, sad at times, but yeah, das ist dann Faktum. So do read up. It's a very fascinating place, Vienna, and for Kunst, yes. So wir sprechen nur von den deutschsprachigen Ländern. Dachel, Deutschland, Österreich, die Schweiz und Liechtenstein. As far as Kunst is concerned, you'll find it all over Europe, all over. Prag zum Beispiel, einer der schönsten Städte, die ich je besucht habe, that I've ever visited. Prague, fabulous city, fabulous town. Every house there is a Kunstwerk, and I'm talking of common people's houses. Awesome. People talk about Italian als Kunstland. Florence zum Beispiel is full of marble statues. The entire city. You see them everywhere. On roads, on lanes, on street corners, überall. So when it comes to preserving culture, preserving heritage, Weltkultur, also Weltkulturerbe, die Europäer sind also sehr, sehr weit fortgeschritten. They're far ahead. Okay, so and naturally, Textzusammenhang. Wir diskutieren das hier ganz kurz. When we say Textzusammenhang, Text und dann auf der anderen Seite Zusammenhang. Was bedeutet Zusammenhang?
Summary or conclusion.
Context, actually. Together, putting together a text. And you must learn to use these properly when you're writing. It's a little difficult to score very highly in writing, but it's not impossible. What matters is your expression, written expression. And this written expression, that means when you're connecting your thoughts, da brauchen wir nicht nur Orts- und Zeitangaben, sondern auch Pronomen, Artikelwörter und Konnektoren. So what we have been ignoring so far in terms of written expression, learn to use these. Learn to use Synonyme und Umschreibungen. That is, Umschreibung means paraphrase, using another word instead of repeating the same word. Of what Wiederholung is considered very, very bad style. Very bad style. So, yeah. So steht es hier. Wortwiederholungen zu vermeiden, verwendet man im Text oft Synonyme und Umschreibungen. It's considered bad style to repeat words very close to each other in one paragraph. It's not so bad if you repeat words or the same word at the beginning or at the end of the page. It's still not good though. But repeating words in line after line is terrible. That means you just don't know language or you have not mastered the language. So, writing your autobiography. Describing a picture or writing a story. Sie. Gemacht. Very bad style. That means your knowledge is limited only to that parrot language. Nothing more than that. You don't know any other words. It speaks very badly of your mastery of the language. So all the effort that you have put in learning German or learning any language, and when it comes to the final point, man wiederholt sich. That's bad. Must learn to use alternatives, Synonyme. Aber warum haben wir dann Synonyme in der Sprache? Damit wir die Wörter nicht wiederholen. So put it differently. One has to practice this. This comes through practice. This is what shows your mastery. And it's very important as you go along. Beit-Zweist, okay. But as you go along and you start writing things in German, avoid repetitions. Always try to use synonyms or synonymal phrases or other ways of expressing the same thing. Schulstudium habe ich so und so abgeschlossen. Dann ging ich an die Universität, wo ich erfolgreich ein BA oder ein MA hinter mich gebracht habe. You've done abgeschlossen, now use the other one that's also hinter mich gebracht habe. I put it behind me. Don't use again geschlossen, abgeschlossen. There's so many phrases that you can use for passing an exam. Absolvieren zum Beispiel ist noch ein Synonym. Absolvieren haben wir auch gelernt. Schulstudium, Abitur, das Abitur absolvieren.
Erledigen.
No, erledigen doesn't fit with studies.
Okay.
Erledigen is normally with work.
Abgelegt.
Abgelegt geht, aber eine Prüfung abgelegt. Es gibt so viele Möglichkeiten, ne, Devika?
Yes, sir.
So learn to use them. Don't always use the same fertig gemacht. The same goes with your German also. A1, A2, B1, B2. Use different ways. Don't repeat the same words. Ja, A1 habe ich gemacht, dann habe ich A2 gemacht und dann habe ich B1 gemacht und dann habe ich B2 gemacht. What have you gemacht? Nothing. Mit A1 habe ich dann und dann begonnen und dann bin ich auf A2 gekommen, wo ich mein Deutsch ein bisschen verbessert habe. Somebody coming in or? Okay. So that's all that I can tell you about text here. In terms of text Zusammenhang. The rest is up to you to practice. So, this is a very interesting story when wo es Kunst gibt, da gibt es auch Kunstraub. Robbery. Paintings are stolen. There's a painting by a chap called Munch, Edward Munch, Der Schrei, the Shriek. That painting has not yet been found. It was stolen quite a few years ago. Whether it still is in one piece or the robber has destroyed it, man weiß ja nicht. Und niemand hat dann diese Tat gestanden. Nobody has confessed to this bis jetzt. Das junges Mädchen zum Beispiel wurde in einem Wald gefunden. And it was cut into two halves. The person who stole it has no value. He doesn't know the worth of a painting. So he just cut it into two halves. It was easier to steal and easier to store, to pack and keep away, store away somewhere. Okay, so as an kringi, basically, so we'll go to the grammar part today. Moment. Buch. Ja. So, welches Wort passt nicht in die Reihe hier? Schloss, Burg, Gemälde, Kirche, Villa. Ja.
Gemälde.
Ja, warum?
Alles in like in big buildings. Schloss,
Ja,
Burg,
ja, die anderen sind Gebäuden.
Gebäude. Correct.
Ja, Schloss, Artikel,
There.
There.
das Schloss. Burg,
There.
There.
die Burg. Castle, it's a castle, die Burg. It's something very similar to what we have here, Burj.
Correct.
Okay, Kirche,
Die
die
Kirche.
Kirche. Und Villa, die Villa.
Die Villa.
Okay, Nummer 2. Aquarell, Ölgemälde, Vernissage, Holzdruck, Zeichnung.
Vernissage.
Was bedeutet Vernissage?
Vernissage.
Verniss.
Preview. It can also mean, for example, eine Ausstellungseröffnung. The inaugural ceremony of an exhibition is an Vernissage.
So this is the odd one out. बाकी सब पेंटिंग है.
Ja?
Fairness Saga is odd one out. Means
Ja,
nicht
also
in
das
die
passt hier nicht. Ja, das passt hier nicht. So, was ist Aquarell?
Type of painting.
Yeah, aquarelle.
Water painting.
Color.
Water painting.
Yeah, good.
Water.
Article.
Dare.
Das.
Das.
Das Aquarell. Ölgemälde.
Oil.
Painting.
Oil painting.
Yeah. Article.
The.
The.
Gemälde.
Milda.
Das.
Das
Das.
Gemälde. Das Gemälde. Okay. Holzdruck.
Wood.
Wood painting.
No.
Halls means wood.
Holes मतलब गोल.
There. There
Yeah.
halls too.
Das ist there also. Das ist richtig. But what is this? This is wood printing.
Oh, painting.
You don't paint on wood. Wood
Printing.
itself is carved out. It's printing using some weights and using all the small tools, awls and so on. You make a impression on the wood itself. This is Holzdruck. Druck means pressure. Zeichnung.
Painting.
Cartoon.
Nee, drawing. Zeichnen is drawing. Okay, next one. Pinsel, Bleistift, Kohle, Leinwand, Spraydose.
Leinwand bedeutet?
You tell me. Also was nicht?
Leinwand.
Yes. Brush.
Was ist Pinsel?
Brush.
Yeah, article.
Der.
Der Pinsel. Next.
Der Bleistift.
Der Bleistift. Kohle.
Die Kohle.
Die Kohle. Leinwand.
Der Leinwand.
Wand.
Der. Wand is the.
Die Wand. Die Leinwand. Und Spraydose.
Spray paint.
Spray can.
Spray.
Doser, no?
Die Dose. Can. Spray can. Und Leinwand ist, was wir in einem Kino finden. Auf der Leinwand wird uns das Bild gezeigt im Kino.
Projector.
Bildschirm.
So give me the right word. Leinwand.
Canvas.
Canvas, no? In einem Kino.
Screen.
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 Yeah, screen it is. Leinwand is screen. Okay. Ausstellung, Roman, Filmvorführung, Musikkonzert, Theateraufführung.
Roman.
Roman.
Roman ist Geschriebenes und die anderen sind alle zum Sehen. Hier zum Lesen, basically. Ausstellung, die Ausstellung,
Exhibition.
Exhibition. Filmvorführung.
Film preview.
Ja, a film
Preview.
being shown. Also die Vorführung. Okay. Literally here, projection, film projection. Musikkonzert.
Music concert.
Ja, das Konzert. Theateraufführung.
Theater projection.
Theater
Projection.
Theater show.
presentation. Aufführung. It's a play. And Aufführung is a play, performance, theater performance. Don't confuse the word theater with Kino here. We use the word theater for Kino very often in Indian English. Theater auf Deutsch bedeutet a play or a stage where some plays are staged or held or performed. That is theater. Theater is not Kino. We talk about films. कौन से theater में लगी है? So don't mistake this. Theater is a drama. It's basically a theater where there are some plays which are held. A play in German is called Stück. And Theaterstück. S-T-U-Umlaut, C-K. Theaterstück. Okay. Bildhauerin, Maler, Grafikerin, Zeichnerin, Artist.
Maler.
Painter. Der Maler.
Artist.
Was bedeutet
Artist.
Artist?
Painter.
आर्टिस्ट मीन्स आर्टिस्ट
Which artist?
जो आर्ट शो करता है.
Right.
Circus.
An artist is a performer. Circus, for example. As a performer is called artist. Right? Whereas the others, all the others are related to drawing and painting. Don't confuse this word artist given here with the Englischen word artist. This artist is a performer. So Bildhauerin, Maler, Grafikerin, Zeichnerin. All have something to do with the proper applied art. So if you look at Bildhauer, let's see if I can get that here. I gave you the word, English word for it, sculpture, and there's no picture coming up. Looking for a picture here. This is Bildhauerei. Holzschnitt. See, they is using a tool here to make carvings in the wood. This is called Holzschnitt or a Holzdruck. And what are the Bildhauerei? What is the technique here? Look at all the things. Alabaster, it's a kind of plaster. Marmor, marble. Kalk und Sandstein, calcium and sandstone. You get statues even today of sandstone in many of the souvenir shops. Harte Minerale, hard minerals are used. Hard stone, hard Kohle, Holz, Elfenbein, this is ivory, wax figures, ceramics, metal. So all these, they all come under Bildhauerei. Der Begriff umfasst, it includes the entire field of production of sculptures and statues. Plastic is the figures that are used. Yeah, this one. This is their Denker. It's called their Denker, a very famous statue made by a Parisian sculptor, which influenced a German poet so much that he tried to imitate this sculpture in his poetry. It is said that when I've seen the replica of this sculpture, not the original, in Paris. This is lifelike. The expression on the face of this person is as if he's in very deep thought. And this is a sculpture made by a very famous French sculptor called Auguste Rodin. Two of his most famous sculptures, one is this one here, Der Denker, and the other one is Der Kuss, the kiss, which is based on a historical event of a tragic love. The sculpture is so fine that the man and the woman who are supposed to kiss in the picture, there's a gap between the lips. In real life, it ended in tragedy. Yeah, so this is plastic. This is sculpture. This is the statue of David in the Vatican, St. Paul's, by Michelangelo. It's a marble statue. You can see each and every curl in the hair. Oh, okay, so this is, you'll find these kind of sculptures of kings and noblemen and famous people in churches, many of them in churches. For example, here in marble. Here. This is the hard stone Egyptian sculpture. Then wax, I don't have any from wax here pictures. No. What's that? Yeah. And when you talk about Bildhauerei, there's one very famous one. Yeah, got it. The statue of veiled Rebecca, which is there in Hyderabad in the Salajang Museum. And as I just come here. Wonder which one. This is the best one. I can do it from here. By an Italian sculptor called Benzoni. Yeah, that's from Seniati, yes. It's made out of marble. And it's in the Salajang Museum. I've gone and seen it up close. This entire thing is marble. There's no cloth here. You can see the eyelashes through the marble. The eyelashes, they are visible through this. And whiter, so that you can see the rear of the statue. They have given a mirror here. This is a special room they've given for this veiled Rebecca. And so much so, I can't get you any closer. See, you can see the elaborate, intricate work in the cloth. This is Bildhauerei. See the design, it's not very clear, unfortunately.
Sir, how we can see through the marble?
I don't know. No idea. Amazing.
It's look like cloth.
It is not cloth. It's pure marble. Benzoni, and these are manuscripts Italian. This is 2 layers of cloth. Babita? 2 layers of cloth. One is the outer layer. There's an inner layer. You can see this. Inside this, there's another, the belt or whatever that cloth that she's tied around her waist. That is visible through this mark. Through this here, you can even see the fingers and these markings, these divisions on the fingers. I've seen it very, very closely in this museum in Hyderabad. Amazing sculpture. So when we are saying Bildhauerei, das ist Bildhauerei. Veiled Rebecca, Benzoni. And this is not the collection of the Nizam, but the collection of the minister of the Nizam. Here. So when you say build Hawarai, this is what it is. See? Biblical Rebecca is seen wearing a veil so thin that it appears like a gauze, medical gauze. All the detail is in stone. So man kann das einfach bewundern. Das ist alles. And the other statue is this famous one, Mephisto und Magdalena. This is from Goethe's Faust, the devil and the girl. Mensch. Yeah, Magdalena or Margareta. Oh, it's not clear here. So when I say, when you come across words like this, imagine these things. So, perhaps the most photographed sculpture at the Salarjung Museum in Hyderabad. Ein kleinen Moment hier bitte. The picture is not coming here. Anyway, that guy will come next week. By this weekend, he said he'll come. So I can check with him about my speed here. Okay. Das ist aus einem einzigen Holzstück. Single piece of wood. This is on the story of, why no picture? Tiny moment, very, very quickly, I'll stop now. It doesn't work. Got it, it should be. Yeah, actually, yeah. Still not working. So sorry. This is still not working.
You can go through images on the right side of all.
Yeah. Will it work, you think? Why is it not showing here? Because I wanted to blow it up. Yeah. Danke. Shashank, thanks a lot. We'll try which one? Take this one. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, will do. That will do. Okay, what you see here is the image of Mephisto, single block of wood. And the rear of the statue that you see here is here, this woman. Same block of wood. The front is Mephisto, the devil, Satan. On the other side is Margareta. Both are characters from a very famous drama written by Goethe called Faust. One represents the good, one represents the evil. So the woman here, Margareta, she represents the good, and Satan, the devil, represents the evil. Single block of wood. Superbly done. Single block. This is Bildhauerei. So let's get back now. So Bildhauerin is a sculptor, a person who does this work. Maler, painter. Grafiker, an artist, somebody who is involved in simple sketching and drawing. Zeichner is also someone who sketches. So die Bildhauerin, der Maler, die Grafikerin, die Zeichnerin, und der Artist. It's a performer. Okay. What goes where? Welche Aktivitäten? I want you to tell me a few words here. Was ist ein Instrument Stimmen?
Instrument to voice. To play instrument.
Nein. Das ist ein Instrument spielen, aber ein Instrument stimmen.
To sound like instrument.
Pitch of the instrument.
Ja?
Pitch of the instrument.
Nein.
How high, low.
Nein. Was machen diese Spieler? Bevor sie ein Instrument, bevor sie ein Konzert beginnen, sie stimmen das Instrument.
To tone it.
To tune it.
Tone it.
They tune the instrument. For example, your tabla players. They use a small light hammer on that to tighten the strings or move that wooden blocks up and down to increase or decrease the tension on the tabla pad. That has to be correct. A guitar player, for example, he tunes the strings properly. Right? Or a piano player and Klavierspieler. The piano has to be tuned properly. So they check out whether the notes are correct. So, an Instrument stimmen, to tune an instrument. Okay? Dann ein Pinsel auswaschen, das kann man nicht so verstehen. Das ist Pinsel. Wir haben gerade gemacht.
Brush.
Ja?
Brush.
Ja, auswaschen.
To clean.
Yes, to wash it completely. Okay. Schminke auflegen.
To apply makeup.
To apply makeup. Or you can simply say sich schminken. Schminke, die Schminke is the noun. Sich schminken, to make oneself up, literally. So Schminke auflegen. Or if you don't want this noun und Verb, Schminke auflegen, einfach reflexiv, sich schminken benutzen. Okay? What is ein Leinwand aufspannen?
To projection.
To stretch it, something, maybe the
Yeah,
wires.
to stretch a screen. Even if you're showing a white bed sheet as a Leinwand, you have to stretch that bed sheet on all the four corners, so that in the middle it's very plain without any wrinkles, no folds. Keine Falten sollten auf diesem Leinwand geben. So you have to stretch it out. If you've seen some of these cinema halls, they use these huge strings or ropes or whatever to stretch out the screen. It has to be fully tight. It's what you see even in the classrooms and labs, where you have the screen that is fully stretched out.
Mhm.
Okay. Digitale Bilder nachbearbeiten.
To work again. Digital photos.
Hmm?
After shooting that we do.
Huh? So what do you do to them?
क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
Recreate something.
Oh.
To add effects or something like that.
Yeah, so to rework them. To rework a digital picture. Right now, the verb that is used is Photoshop them, literally.
Hmm.
So you rework that picture. Okay. Was ist das hier? Sich Geschichten ausdenken.
To think of a story.
Think up a story. Not think of. That will be simply denken an. Whereas here, ausdenken, you're literally creating a story. You sit and think up a story. Okay. Was ist ein Drehbuch? Drehbücher lesen.
Script.
Transcript.
Script. Yeah, the screenplay, basically. Okay, then you know these words. Good. This will take time. I want to do these words properly. Also, Weltkulturerbe, davon habe ich ja gesprochen. Vielleicht machen wir hier Schluss. I don't want to start with this topic now. I need you to think here. So, was kommt wo? Okay, let's leave it here. Ja, habt ihr Fragen? Wir haben noch 2 Minuten Zeit. Naja. Habt ihr Fragen?
Yes, sir. Ich habe. Sir, ich habe einen Satz. Wir suchen die Forscher von morgen. Okay. It's in the book only, this page number 59. So,
Wir
warum
suchen
das
was?
von? Wir suchen die Forscher von morgen. Phone को आप से we can replace up also.
No.
59.
Das ist
page
im
number.
Lehrbuch. Im Lehrbuch oder Arbeitsbuch?
The book that you have opened till now, मतलब अभी जिस पे हम काम कर रहे थे, it's Arbeit's book.
Oh, Arbeitsbuch, okay. Was ist der Unterschied hier?
हाँ sir. Here we are suchen die Forscher von morgen. Warum von ab नहीं?
Are you going to search from them from tomorrow or of tomorrow?
So generally जब भी हमें फ्यूचर नहीं पता था तो एक टाइम के लिए हम लोग अब लिखते हैं.
What is for sure?
Researcher.
So what are we doing here? What is the verb?
Suchen.
Suchen.
Right? So we are searching for the researchers of tomorrow. Can you make a genitive with the word tomorrow? It's an adverb.
तो जिससे हम बोलते हैं ना, we'll begin the class
एक
अब
minute.
morgen.
Up morgen is from tomorrow. कल
हाँ.
से.
Correct.
So यहाँ पे researchers कल से है कि कल के, आने वाले कल के?
आने वाले कल के.
अच्छा, मैं तो गलत सोचा था.
We are looking for researchers of tomorrow. This von morgen dative is an ersatz form to your genitive. You can't use there, there with adverbs. Genitive is formed with nouns, not with adverbs, isn't it? Morgen, small m, means tomorrow. It's an adverb of time. Doesn't cite adverb here. So how will you say des morgens? Then the m has to be capital. If you say m capital, then it becomes morning. So कल के researchers हम ढूंढा जा रहे हैं या ढूंढ रहे हैं हम. That is our motto. We are searching for the researchers of tomorrow, not from tomorrow.
I thought from tomorrow we are looking for researcher.
This is genitive here, Fortune von Morgan. Right. Similarly, das Buch here is von Abdul Kalam. So was bedeutet das Wort hier? Von Abdul Kalam.
Belonging to
No.
people. No?
Nein?
By.
Bei. Also ist der Autor. Hat das Buch geschrieben. So von so and so means by. Discovery of India ist ein Buch von Jawaharlal Nehru.
Correct.
It's not a book from or up. Not in that sense. It's not a book from Jawaharlal Nehru. It's a book by.
By.
So es hängt vom Kontext ab, wo wir diese Präposition in welchem Sinne verwenden.
Okay.
Okay, noch Fragen?
Nein, sir.
Keine Fragen mehr? So, Abhishek und Raja waren nicht da heute, ne? Die zwei. Maybe they thought no class today. So far, so good. Abhi bhi